Okay, so I left off here. It was the slides of the epidermis, which is stratified squamous epithelium. The second layer of the skin is the dermis, and the dermis is the inner layer. It's much thicker than the epidermis, and it has more tissues located there. You actually looked at all of these but epithelial. You sketched dense regular, you sketched smooth muscle, you sketched nerve, and you sketched blood in your lab. And there is a structure called the basement membrane that's mainly just fibers that separates the epidermis and the dermis. So there is a clear distinction between those two layers. And this is a image. This is actually from your textbook. This kind of is like what you drew. This is the slide, and this is the sketch version, I guess you could say. And there are different parts to the epidermis. Oops, sorry. I went forward. Um, the outermost layer is the stratum corneum, and then the deepest layer is the stratum basal. And it's labeled here. Don't ask me why it's not labeled over here, but it's the last area before the basement membrane. The last component of the integumentary system is the subcutaneous layer, under cutaneous skin. It's under the skin. It's beneath the dermis. It's not skin. It is the layer underneath the skin. It is made of areolar tissue, and that's what you drew as well. Um, it is also made of adipose tissue, and adipose tissue was also something you sketched. So you can understand why now you had to make a connection, because those are the types of tissue in each of those sections of the skin and under the skin. And basically, the subcutaneous layer binds the skin to the underlying organs. And when you were skinning your cat, you were cutting through the subcutaneous layer and you were removing it from the cat, and basically you were unbinding it from the organs below, in this case, the muscles. Um, epidermis. Epidermis lacks blood vessels. The deepest layer is the stratum basal. It is the layer closest to the dermis. It's capable of reproducing. Now, this is something that a lot of you labeled incorrectly on your sketch lab. The area that is away from the free surface is the area that is capable of reproducing. As cells divide, old cells are pushed to the surface. Cells then become keratinized, which means filled with keratin, and die. And so keratin is a tough, waterproof protein that is found in the outermost area in the cells of the epidermis. Here you can see a picture. Now, I'm not expecting that you will learn these intermediate layers, okay, granulosum and spinosum. I'm interested in you knowing the stratum basal, which is not labeled here, which is the deepest, and then the stratum corneum, which is the outermost, the flaky, dead skin. Here's another image. I really like that one. You can see the thickness of the stratum corneum here. It is the outer layer of dead cells, and you can see this from up here all the way down here. That is the stratum corneum, and it functions in protection, and it keeps water and other substances out. So if that surface is unbroken, then you are protected. Melanin. Melanin is a pigment, and it is found in the deeper layers of the epidermis. There are cells called melanocytes, and you can see in this image right here, here are some melanocytes, and notice that they have little branches of pigments coming out from them. And the function of melanin is to absorb light energy, and thus it protects the deeper layers of your skin from the damage of sunlight. Um, the presence of melanin determines skin color. And here is a slide of pigment granules you can see within a cell, and then also a drawing that is showing the melanocyte and then how the pigment granules go out from that melanocyte. I really like this article about skin color. I highly suggest you look at it. It really explains a lot.